Every thought you think is quietly shaping your future. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen is a timeless classic that explains one powerful truth: your mind is the architect of your life. Written over a century ago, this small but mighty book continues to transform lives because it reveals something most people never realize. The thoughts running through your head right now, this very moment, are creating your tomorrow. Think about it. Every successful person, every breakthrough, every life transformation started with a single thought. But here's what's fascinating. Most of us treat our minds like we treat our phones, letting random notifications pop up without any filter. We allow worry, doubt, fear, and negativity to run wild, then wonder why our lives feel chaotic and unfulfilled. James Allen understood something profound about human nature. He realized that we become what we think about most. Not what we say we want, not what we wish for, but what actually occupies our mental space day after day. This isn't just philosophy, it's the fundamental law of how life works. And today we're going to explore how you can use this law to completely transform your reality. The journey begins with understanding that thoughts are the root of everything in your life. Allen explains this through a simple but powerful progression. Thoughts become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, and character becomes destiny. Every single thing you see in your life right now, from your relationships to your bank account, from your health to your happiness, can be traced back to the thoughts you've been thinking consistently. Let me give you a real example. Consider someone who constantly thinks about financial struggle. They wake up worried about money, spend their day focusing on bills they can't pay, and go to sleep anxious about their financial future. These thoughts naturally lead to actions of scarcity. They avoid opportunities because they seem risky. They don't invest in themselves because they think they can't afford it. They make decisions from fear rather than possibility. Over time, these actions become habits of limitation, which shapes their character as someone who believes in lack. And inevitably, their destiny becomes one of ongoing financial struggle. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people think they're victims of their circumstances. They believe life happens to them, that they're just passengers on this journey. Allen completely flips this script. He shows us that we're not victims, we are creators. Every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your inner world. The person who thinks thoughts of abundance attracts abundance. The person who dwells on lack experiences scarcity. It's not magic, it's mental law. Consider this. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract opportunities while others constantly face obstacles? It's not luck, it's thinking patterns. The person who expects good things to happen starts noticing possibilities everywhere. Their mind becomes a magnet for solutions, connections, and breakthroughs. Meanwhile, the person expecting problems finds them at every turn. Same world, but different mental filters, completely different experiences. I once knew two friends who started similar businesses at the same time. One constantly worried about competition, complained about market conditions, and focused on everything that could go wrong. The other saw challenges as opportunities, looked for ways to serve customers better, and maintained unwavering belief in his vision. Guess which business thrived? The external circumstances were identical, but their internal worlds were completely different, and their results reflected that difference perfectly.
This is why Allen says you cannot change your life without changing your thinking. External changes without internal transformation are temporary at best. You might get a new job, move to a new city, or start a new relationship. But if your thinking patterns remain the same, you'll recreate the same problems in new packaging. Real change happens from the inside out. Now, Allen uses a beautiful metaphor to explain how the mind works. He says your mind is like a garden. Just like a garden, it will grow something whether you tend to it or not. If you don't consciously plant positive thoughts, negative ones grow automatically. Weeds don't need permission, they just grow. Similarly, worry, fear, doubt, and negativity don't need your invitation. They'll take over your mental garden if you're not actively cultivating something better. Picture this. Imagine you have a beautiful plot of land behind your house. If you ignore it completely, what happens? Weeds take over. Wild grass grows everywhere. Thorny bushes spring up. The land becomes unusable. But if you tend to it regularly, plant flowers and vegetables, water them consistently, and remove weeds as they appear, you create something beautiful and nourishing. Your mind works exactly the same way. But here's the empowering part. You are the gardener of your mind. You get to choose what grows there. Every morning, you can decide whether to plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and possibility, or let the weeds of complaint, worry, and limitation take over. The choice is always yours, and the results are always predictable. Think about the most successful people you know. They are not necessarily the smartest or the most talented, but they've mastered the art of mental gardening. They consistently plant thoughts of growth, opportunity, and solution. They weed out negativity before it takes root. They protect their mental space like their most valuable asset, because that's exactly what it is. This brings us to one of Alan's most profound insights. People do not attract what they want, they attract what they are. Your outer world is a perfect reflection of your inner world. If you want to change what's happening around you, you must first change what's happening within you. Change the inner world and the outer world must change. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about becoming the type of person who naturally experiences the life you desire. Want more success? Start thinking like a successful person. Want better relationships? Develop the thoughts and attitudes that create connection and love. Want better health? Cultivate thoughts of vitality and well-being. The external follows the internal, always. Here's something fascinating. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what you imagine vividly and what you actually experience. When you consistently think about success, your brain starts creating neural pathways that support successful behavior. When you visualize healthy relationships, you begin noticing and creating opportunities for deeper connections. Your thoughts literally rewire your brain to align with your desired reality. Speaking of health, Alan discovered something that modern science now confirms. Your thoughts directly impact your physical body. Peaceful mind equals healthy body. When you consistently think calm, positive thoughts, your body responds with better health, more energy, and greater vitality. But fearful, angry, or stressed thoughts literally weaken your immune system and create physical problems. This mind-body connection is more powerful than most people realize. Your cells are listening to your thoughts. Your nervous system responds to your mental state. Your hormones shift based on your emotional patterns. This is why people who learn to manage their thinking often experience dramatic improvements in their physical health, even without changing their diet or exercise routine. Research shows that chronic stress and negative thinking patterns can lead to inflammation, weakened immunity, digestive issues, and even heart disease. On the flip side, practices like meditation, gratitude, and positive visualization have been proven to lower blood pressure, improve immune function, and increase longevity. Your thoughts are literally medicine or poison for your body. But managing your thoughts requires something crucial: purpose. Alan emphasizes that a person without purpose is controlled by circumstances. When you don't have a clear direction for your thinking, your mind becomes reactive instead of creative. You spend your mental energy responding to whatever happens instead of creating what you want to happen. Purpose acts like a compass for your thoughts. It gives you a filter for deciding which thoughts deserve your attention and which ones should be dismissed. When you have a clear purpose, you naturally start thinking thoughts that align with your goals. Your mind becomes focused, disciplined, and incredibly powerful. Think about it this way. If you're driving somewhere without a destination, you'll end up wherever the road takes you. But when you have a clear destination, every turn becomes intentional. Every decision serves your ultimate goal. Purpose transforms random mental activity into focused creative power. This is where the magic happens. Dreams backed by discipline become reality. Alan shows us that every great achievement started as a thought in someone's mind. But not just any thought, a thought backed by clear vision, unwavering confidence, and persistent mental discipline. The person who can hold a clear picture of their desired outcome in their mind, despite current circumstances, has tapped into the creative power of the universe. Think about any major breakthrough in human history: the aeroplane, the internet, space travel, medical discoveries. They all started as thoughts in someone's mind. But these weren't casual thoughts or wishful thinking. They were thoughts backed by purpose, fueled by discipline, and sustained by unwavering belief. The thinkers became the creators. Consider the Wright brothers. Everyone told them human flight was impossible. The scientific community ridiculed their ideas. But they held a clear vision in their minds and thought about it consistently. They disciplined their thinking to focus on solutions rather than obstacles. They visualized success when everyone else saw failure. Their persistent mental discipline eventually manifested as the first successful airplane flight. This same principle applies to your personal goals. Whether you want to build a business, improve your relationships, get healthier, or make a difference in the world, it all starts with disciplined thinking. You must be able to hold your vision clearly in your mind, especially when external circumstances suggest it's impossible. But here's what separates dreamers from achievers: consistency. Anyone can think positive thoughts for a day or a week, but the person who transforms their life is the one who maintains disciplined thinking patterns month after month, year after year. They understand that mental discipline is like physical fitness. It requires daily practice and consistent effort.
Just like you can't get physically fit by exercising once a month, you can't master your mind with occasional positive thinking. It's the daily practice, the consistent mental training, the persistent focus on your desired outcomes that creates lasting transformation. Champions in any field understand this principle. They train their minds as rigorously as they train their bodies. This leads us to what Allen considers the highest achievement: serenity. Calmness of mind is not just a nice-to-have quality, it's the ultimate goal of mental mastery. When you achieve true serenity, you're no longer tossed around by external circumstances. You maintain your inner peace regardless of what's happening around you. Serenity comes from understanding that you cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you think about what happens to you. This shift in perspective is incredibly liberating. Instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, you focus your energy on what you can actually influence: your thoughts, your responses, and your choices. The serene person has learned to let go of the ego's need to be right, to control others, or to have everything go according to plan. They have developed what Allen calls acceptance without resignation. They accept what is while still working towards what could be. This balance creates an inner strength that's unshakable. Imagine being so centered in your own mental power that criticism doesn't disturb you, setbacks don't discourage you, and uncertainty doesn't frighten you. This isn't about becoming emotionally numb. It's about developing such strong mental discipline that you remain calm and focused regardless of external turbulence. This is true freedom. But how do you actually apply these principles in your daily life? Allen provides practical guidance that's as relevant today as it was over 100 years ago. The key is to start watching your thoughts like a scientist observing an experiment. Most people are unconscious of their thinking patterns. They let thoughts run on autopilot and wonder why their lives feel out of control. Begin by simply noticing what you think about most. Are your thoughts generally positive or negative? Do you spend more time thinking about what you want or what you don't want? Do you focus on solutions or problems? This awareness alone will start shifting your mental patterns. Keep a thought journal for a week. Every few hours, write down what you've been thinking about. You'll be amazed at what you discover. Many people realize they spend most of their mental energy on worry, complaint, and limitation. This awareness is the first step towards change. Next, consciously replace negative thoughts with positive ones. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," immediately replace it with, "I am learning how to do this." When you notice yourself thinking, "This always happens to me," shift to, "I am creating better experiences." This isn't about denying reality. It's about choosing thoughts that empower rather than limit you. Most importantly, think with purpose. Before you start your day, decide what kind of thoughts will serve your goals. If you want to be more confident, spend time thinking about your strengths and past successes. If you want better relationships, focus on appreciation and understanding. If you want more abundance, think about opportunities and possibility. Create morning and evening thought rituals. Spend 10 minutes each morning visualizing your ideal day. See yourself handling challenges with grace, achieving your goals with ease, and interacting with others from a place of love and confidence.
In the evening, review your day and consciously appreciate 3 things that went well. This simple practice will gradually rewire your brain for success and happiness. Remember, small mental shifts create big life changes. You don't need to completely overhaul your thinking overnight. Start with small, consistent changes. Replace one negative thought pattern with a positive one. Spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing your goals. Practice gratitude for 3 things each day. These small shifts compound over time into massive transformations. The beauty of Allen's message is its simplicity and universality. Regardless of your background, education, or current circumstances, you have the power to change your life by changing your thoughts. This isn't about having perfect thoughts all the time. It's about gradually shifting the balance towards thoughts that serve your highest good. As you begin this journey of mental mastery, remember that every expert was once a beginner. Every person who has achieved serenity and success started exactly where you are now. They simply made the decision to take responsibility for their thinking and committed to the daily practice of mental discipline. The thoughts you think today are creating your tomorrow. The question is, what kind of tomorrow are you creating? As Allen reminds us, as you think, so you become. Master your thoughts and you master your life. The power has always been within you. Now you know how to use it. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It's time to start using it intentionally, purposefully, and with the understanding that every thought matters. The life you've always wanted is just a thought away. The only question is, are you ready to think it into existence?